Nutrition plays a key role in maintaining prostate health, as it can contribute to increasing the risk of developing certain diseases, such as benign prostatic hyperplasia and prostate cancer. In the last video that you can find by clicking above, we saw some prostate-friendly foods. In this instead, we are going to look at some that are considered harmful to the health of the prostate gland. It is important to remember that there is no single food that can be identified as the direct cause of prostate cancer, but according to the results of some scientific studies, which you can find in the description of the video, there are some foods capable of increasing the risk of developing this malignant neoplasm. But what are they? Let's go see them. Fried foods. With a crunchy texture and golden crust, fried foods are prepared by immersing them in boiling oils, which reach very high temperatures during cooking. However, fried foods can not only add inches to our waistline and worsen cardiovascular health, but they can also increase the risk of prostate cancer. This is the result of a study conducted in 2013 by researchers at the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center in Seattle. The study looked at men who reported eating fried foods, specifically French fries, fried chicken, fried fish, or donuts, at least once a week. The results showed that weekly consumption of these foods was associated with a higher risk of cancer, ranging from 30 to 37%. Among the possible mechanisms underlying the onset of cancer, we find the formation of some toxic and potentially carcinogenic substances that form during cooking. That is, when heated oil reaches very high temperatures to fry food. Among the chemical substances most responsible, we find acrylamide, present in starchy foods, such as French fries, but also acrolein, heterocyclic amines, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. For this reason, limiting the consumption of fried foods could be a useful strategy to reduce the risk of developing some cancers, including prostate cancer. Saturated fats. Saturated fats are fatty acids present in numerous foods that we put on the table every day, particularly in products of animal origin. Among these we find meat fats and derivatives, whole milk, butter, cream, and full-fat cheeses, as well as sausages, cured meats, and fried foods of all types. We can also find saturated fats in some products of plant origin, particularly coconut oil and palm oil. It has been known for some time that a diet rich in saturated fats can increase blood cholesterol levels, especially the bad cholesterol, in addition to increasing the risk of developing cardiovascular diseases such as myocardial infarction and stroke. High cholesterol levels appear to favor the onset of prostate cancer. This is the conclusion of a recent study coordinated by Italian researchers and published in the journal Food and Function. However, the study does not report the mechanisms according to which hypercholesterolemia promotes tumor proliferation. A well-known scientific journal, Current Opinion in Pharmacology, takes care of this, explaining the possible mechanisms. High levels of cholesterol favor the deposition of fats inside the arteries, forming what are called atherosclerotic plaques. Over time, these cause inflammatory and pathological changes that are typical of atherosclerosis, but which also appear to be responsible for the development of approximately 20% of tumors. Pathological or precancerous alterations of the prostate, as well as prostatic adenocarcinoma, are often linked as consequences of chronic inflammation. Cholesterol is also an essential precursor in the synthesis of steroid hormones, including androgens such as testosterone. The latter plays a crucial role in maintaining the health of the prostate gland, but if present in excess, it seems to increase the risk of developing prostate cancer. A diet rich in saturated fats, therefore, by favoring the increase in cholesterol, indirectly promotes the production of androgen hormones and testosterone in the body. In conclusion, it has been shown that lowering cholesterol levels helps reduce the risk of getting prostate cancer. This can be done not only through the use of drugs, but also by acting on eating habits, for example by increasing the intake of fruit and vegetables. However, further studies will be needed to understand the potential mechanisms that link fat intake to the development of prostate cancer. Red meats and processed meats. From prehistoric man's hunting of wild animals to ensure survival, to large-scale livestock farming, red meat has gone through significant evolution throughout human history. An excellent source of proteins with high biological value, as well as B vitamins, iron, zinc, selenium, and other essential nutrients, red meat is currently present in the diet of many cultures around the world. In recent decades, however, the role of red meat in the human diet has become a subject of debate due to growing concerns about its potential health risks, as well as its significant impact on the environment. The relationship between red and processed meat consumption and prostate cancer has been extensively studied, but the results obtained are controversial. In the scientific studies that have actually highlighted a positive association, several potential mechanisms have been identified. Heme iron, a form of iron bound to hemoglobin, of which red meat is an excellent source, can increase the production of free radicals in the body through oxidation processes of DNA, proteins, and lipids in multiple organs, including the prostate. N-nitroso compounds, on the other hand, are a group of chemical compounds that can be formed both endogenously during digestion in the gastrointestinal tract and during the processing and preservation of meat, especially when preservatives such as nitrates and nitrates are used. The formation of these compounds can damage DNA and alter the cell replication process, thus increasing the risk of cancer, including prostate cancer. Methods of cooking meat where very high temperatures are reached, such as barbecue, can also increase the risk of aggressive prostate cancer. This is the result of the study published in the scientific journal PLOS One, in which the authors highlighted that during cooking some mutagenic agents are formed that is capable of causing genetic mutations, such as heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. The higher the degree of cooking of the meat, the higher the levels of these compounds. As the Italian Association for Cancer Research reminds us, excessive consumption of red meat, especially processed meats, such as cured meats, increases the risk of developing certain tumors in proportion to the quantity and frequency of consumption. Dairy products. The term dairy products indicates a large family that includes milk and its derivatives, such as cheese, butter, yogurt, and cream. Dairy products are an excellent source of protein and calcium, but also of some vitamins and minerals, including vitamin A, vitamin B12, and vitamin D. The scientific literature is full of studies that analyze the link between the consumption of dairy products and the risk of developing tumors, but despite this, the quality of these works is still not sufficient. While they appear to decrease the risk of developing colorectal cancer, on the other hand, there is evidence, although limited, to support an increased risk of prostate cancer. Some components of dairy products have come under fire, including saturated fats, calcium, somatomedin, also known as insulin-like growth factor, that is a peptide hormone structurally similar to insulin, but also estrogens. Indeed, researchers have hypothesized that modern commercial milk production methods result in a higher level of estrogen in milk, which in turn may lead to higher rates of prostate cancer. According to a recent study conducted in 2022 by researchers at Loma Linda University Health in California, men who consumed more dairy products, especially milk, with an average of 430 grams per day, nearly 2 cups, were at a 27% higher risk of developing prostate cancer compared to men who consumed less, that is on average 20.2 grams per day. As further studies investigate how dairy consumption might increase the risk of prostate cancer, the author of this research advises men with a family history of prostate cancer or other risk factors to be cautious about consuming moderate amounts of milk as part of their diet, at least until other studies provide more precise answers. Studying foods is very complicated because they contain many different substances and their effects are given by their sum and interaction with other components. It is good to remember that it is almost never a single food that causes or prevents cancer, but the set of different components linked to genetics, the environment, and everyone's habits, including dietary ones.